What is going on, Pokemon fans? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We are doing a ranking video today. I haven't done one of these in a long time because I hadn't finished all the playthroughs in Generation 1, and there's still some I really want to redo for some other typings. However, this is the ranking for all the Grass-type Pokemon in Generation 1. So it narrows it down to 6. We have 6. One is Mono Grass-type. That's the Tangela. He's behind the pink little banner there. You have Vileplume at the top. He's Grass Poison. Victreebel is also Grass Poison. Venusaur is also Grass Poison. Grass Bug is Parasect in the top right corner. And Grass Psychic is Exeggutor. There we go. Execute evolves in Exeggutor. So we're going to rank them from worst to best based on my playthroughs, and I will give my reasons for all of them. So to start this off, before I get started though, I want you to make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment down below whenever you have a disagreement or you have a question or comment or whatever case may be. Please do. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And also make sure you subscribe so you get videos like this all the time. I'll do these kind of videos all the time. But I do a lot of playthroughs. I do other games as well. So let me know what you think. And without further ado, number 6 we're going to go to is Execute and Exeggutor. So Execute and Exeggutor, man, this is how to describe this Pokemon. Bottom right corner, you're going to see our level up moveset. Hopefully you can see it. It is not a great moveset at all. It is Barrage and Hypnosis is what we start out with, and that's all we get for 25 levels. So you gotta get through Brock, who is Rock type, with a 15 base power normal move that's 85% accurate. Not fun. This playthrough was, I believe, either was just over 3 hours or just below 3 hours. Not quite the longest playthrough. The longest playthrough I've had is, well, it's Ditto, obviously, but the longest one that's not Ditto is Onyx. And then I'm pretty sure this one was right behind it. So it's either 3 hours or like right below 3 hours. Very long playthrough. You only have the one move. You actually can get another move right after you beat Brock's Gym, but it's Bide, and Bide isn't a great move anyway. So really, is it really adding a great move? No. And then when you look at your stats actually aren't bad for this Pokemon. Execute for a first stage Pokemon, not horrible. But when you evolve, you're evolved into a very solid Pokemon. You have Exeggutor has 95 HP, 95 attack, 85 defense, 125 special, which is attack and defense in Generation 1, and a 55 speed. So 520 is not our base stat total. I think it's 455 if my math is correct. It's 455. So not the worst stats, but the problem is, like I said, you don't get any moves. The next level attacking move you get via level up is Leech Seed. And then the next one you get after that is Solar Beam. Now, whenever you get to Celadon City, you can actually evolve and use the Leaf Stone and evolve into Exeggutor. But the problem with that, and I didn't bring this up, but if you start the game with Exeggutor, like level 20 something, you can get Stomp, but you're not ever going to get to you're never going to get Stomp unless you start out with Exeggutor, because you're too high a level when you get to Celadon City to get that. So when you evolve, you lose all your level up moves. So we don't get Sleep Powder, which is a better version of Hypnosis. And then all we have to rely on is what we've learned via level up to that point, and what we have via TM. So the TM moves are not the worst, but they're not the greatest either. So you don't get access to Body Slam, which is a great move for most Pokemon. Takedown, Double Edge. You do get access to Hyper Beam, so that's not bad. But the Takedown and Double Edge are garbage, and you might have to rely on one to be physical. Mega Drain and Psychic are great, that you can get pretty once you're in like Celadon City, you get Psychic right away, and all of a sudden this Pokemon goes from like really bad to pretty decent to almost like really good. It's just your stats. It's just at that point you've taken so much time, and you don't have a physical move to really deal with some problems you're gonna have. Like other Psychic Pokemon is a problem, so you don't have a great one unless you want to learn Hyper Beam. But in my playthrough, this wasn't the case. It wasn't fun. I had to use a Mimic. For badge boosting purposes, is not when this one gets via level up. You'd think being a psychic Pokemon it would get amnesia or something, but it doesn't. And yeah, it's just so many things about this Pokemon just don't synergize. It's not a synergistic Pokemon. It doesn't synergize its movesets very well. It's leveling up. I think it was just things were thrown at a dartboard, and they're like, hopefully this sticks and people don't think too much about it. But this Pokemon was not very good. That is why it's number 6. I think Exeggutor, I mean, I'm thinking about like potentially doing a backport with like newer moves and a newer move set and seeing how that does. That's a possibility. It might be one of my what if scenarios on this channel, but All in all, Exeggutor is the worst grass type in Generation 1. Moving on to number 5 is Tangela. So Tangela is a mono grass type. It's the only mono grass type. It actually has solid stats, 65 HP, 55 attacks. Defense is 115. Special is 100. So that's attack and defense in Generation 1, and speed is 60. So not the greatest stats, but not the worst either. Looking at a 395 base power Pokemon, so that's not too bad. What really makes this Pokemon kind of bad is its moveset early. You get Constrict and Bind. And in Pokemon Yellow, it's even worse. But you get Constrict and Bind. Neither one of those are good. Neither one of those are grass type. So the game is a slog. You have to grind through. You don't get another level up move until level 29. That's Absorb. And in Red and Blue, you don't even get Vine Whip. You have to go and keep going until you get Slam at level 45. So nothing about this Pokemon works very well. Via TM, you do have some saving grace with TMs. You do have Swords Dance, which is the best badge boosting move in the game, in my opinion. But the downside of that is our attack stat's not really great, but it does boost our attack. And we do get some good moves shortly after Misty's Gem and right before Lieutenant Surge. You get Body Slam. Body Slam really unlocks this Pokemon. It's the most powerful move you're going to get. You still have Absorb. By that point, you should be right around that time. But you get Absorb and then Body Slam, so that pretty much gets you through most of the game until you get to Celadon City, or you can upgrade some other things. You can get Mega Drain once you beat Erica, but you just don't have a lot of things that synergize. Like Solar Beam is a decent move. You can't put things to sleep, so you don't have Sleep Strike. Oh, yeah, actually you can. I'm sorry. You do have Sleep Powder, but you don't get that to like level 39. So there's a lot of the game you've gone past, and it's just not a broad enough move pool. But it is better than Execute. I'd rather play through Tangela than Execute any day. Tangela, like I said, you have to wait all the way through Rock Tunnel and get to Celadon City before you're going to do anything with Execute. All you got to do is get on the SSN, and Tangela all of a sudden will be unlocked, and he gets so much better, so much faster doing that. So that's number 5, and we're going to move on to number 4. So number 4 and number 3, I actually did a versus series and had them play through against each other. So number 4 to me is Vileplume. Vileplume doesn't actually have horrible stats. It has very good distribution for the most part of stats. 75 HP, 80 attack, 85 defense, 100 special, so that's attack and defense, and then speed is 50. Okay? It actually starts off with a fairly decent grass move as well. Grass move's 20 base power, 30 with stab, but yeah, it's a stab move and you get it right away. But here's the downside of this Pokemon. This is the downside to most grass types in this game, and the one that's number 1, has a way to circumvent this. The problem with grass types, if you start the game out with a grass type, are you going to obliterate Brock's Gem? Absolutely, as long as you have a grass move. Are you going to probably obliterate Misty's Gem? Absolutely. Is Lieutenant Surge going to be pretty easy? Sure, because you're resisted to his attacks. Okay? So the first 3 gems are pretty much a cakewalk. The problem is the battles in between the first 3 those gems, from the start of the game to the first gem. All you have early is bug types, poison types, and flying types, for the most part. Okay, there is some normal Pokemon like Rattata and Nidoran, female or male, or whatever, it depends on what game you're in. But all you have early in Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red, to fight is grass type, or is bug types and flying types. And you're weak to both of those. Okay? Poison types, not so much. You'll resist it. You won't get poison. That's the benefit to Vileplume. But the fact that you are weak to everything you can fight except for Rattatas, more or less, is a huge disadvantage. Because you have to go face your rival, and your rival's going to have a Pidgey, and he's going to have, Charmander's not a problem. He doesn't have Ember by that point. But the second rival fight, or Rival 1B as some people call it, in my playthroughs you have to fight the second rival fight. That Pokemon does not have a good chance against Pidgey. Pidgey's not going to be, it's going to resist the attack, and it does a lot of damage. So you have to grind early, get to a good level against Rattatas, which is done. If you watch the playthrough, that's what I did. Brock, like I said, will be super easy. He'll be super easy, barely an inconvenience. But then you got to go on, I think it's Route 2 or 3, and now you got Bug Trainers again. You got Bird Pokemon you got to deal with, Flying type Pokemon you got to deal with, and you don't get another physical damaging move until level 24. I mean, you could add Bide. That is a move, but you have to take damage to deal damage with Bide. So you can add Acid, you can use Poison Powder, I guess, but you have no other move to mitigate any of the things you come across other than just Absorb and Bide until level 24. So that slows this Pokemon down immensely. And, I mean, at some point it does speed up because you're able to evolve. And the way I played this playthrough, we prolong the inevitable evolution to Gloom because it pushes back moves. So we wanted to get to level 33 at minimum so we can get Petal Dance. And then once you get to Celadon City, you can buy the Leaf Stone. You can evolve into Vileplume. And Vileplume can learn Body Slam, which Gloom and Oddish cannot learn. So it does let you very quickly, like, accelerate your Pokemon's progression, and you can learn Swords Dance shortly after that. So it does get better, but the early part of the game is a straight-up just slog. Yeah, you can sprint all the way to Brock and beat him, but then you're going to have so many problems on the route going to Mount Moon, and even in Mount Moon you're going to have problems. And that's what this Pokemon did. Now the next one that on my list is Paris/Parasect. Now usually you wouldn't think this Pokemon would outrank Vileplume. If we started out with Parasect, and we start out with Vileplume, might be a completely different discussion. Maybe I'll do that in the future. But we start out with the base model of each Pokemon. And the thing about Paris starts out with Scratch, automatically a better move than starting out with Absorb. Okay? But we also get access to Stun Spore. We get access to Leech Life. So there's some move diversity there. We get Spore. We're the only Pokemon in the game that gets Spore naturally. We get Slash and Grow. So those aren't horrible. But what's great about Paris is its move diversity. You can add Dig, you can add Body Slam very early in this game, and it makes these Pokemon absolutely fantastic. So our best stat is attack. 95 attack. HP 60, defense is 80, special is 80. Okay, so that's any grass move is special. And then our speed is hot garbage at 30. So don't get me wrong, we are very slow. However, we get access to Swords Dance just like everyone else. And Swords Dance will increase our speed. It helps with our speed. Our physical attack will go up when we do Swords Dance, so Body Slam and Dig are automatically now very effective moves. And like I said, our special is decent, so when you do Swords Dance, it does the Bad Roost glitch. So by proxy, Mega Drain gets better. You can use Mimic and Mimic moves that help out as well. So this Pokemon just synergizes well in its diversity of moves compared to a bunch of the other grass types. Makes this Pokemon a lot better. It has garbage stats, do not get me wrong. 405 as a fully evolved Pokemon, and that's not even deducting out the 60 for not having special attack and just having the one stat. So when you deduct that out, what are you looking at there? Jeez, okay, that's like 445? 345? A fully evolved Pokemon? That's horrible. However, it works. It works with this Pokemon, and once you get by Brock, and you get into Mount Moon, it starts snowballing for you because you start getting better things like Leech Life. We had to sprint to, I think it's covered by the Pokemon. I think it's level 20 or 21 to get Leech Life, but the game progresses very fast after that point. So that's why he is number 3. Some people will debate that and will say Oddish should be higher. I played through both, and they literally finished within a second of each other. And I said, if this is even close, it's going to Paris. Paris/Parasect. So moving on to number 2, and this will be controversial, because everyone loves this starter, and everyone thinks this is the best starter in the game. It's not, and I'll argue this till I'm blue in the face. But Venusaur is still a very good Pokemon, don't get me wrong. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, very good Pokemon. I love to play through with them. But here's the problem with this, and I said it earlier. The problem with Bulbasaur/Ivysaur/Venusaur is you don't start off with a great move. Tackle is horrible. And like I said, you're fighting birds early, you're fighting bugs. Okay, and they're going to have something for you, and you don't do much damage. Even when you get Vine Whip, it's not going to do well against Bug type, or it's not going to do well against Flying type. So you relied upon a very unreliable tackle. Your Growl's okay, I guess. Leech Seed is okay, I guess. Vine Whip is good, but it only has 10 power points, and if you see my playthrough, I played through it twice on this channel. I might do it a third time just to optimize it to see as well as I could do it. But if you use Vine Whip, you got to go back and heal a lot because it replenishes the power points. So it's not the most reliable move, and you really don't get a great move until level 27, which is Razor Leaf, but that's still only 55 base power. So it's not great, and like I said, the gym leaders are going to be easy. Brock will be easy. If you get to level 13 and face Brock, you will one-shot him on both of his Pokemon without hesitation. It'll be like just a slaughter of Brock with Vine Whip with Bulbasaur. However, Misty will be the same thing. Misty will be pretty much the same exact thing. However, the stuff in between, when you have to fight trainers with like Pidgeys, and you have to fight trainers with lots of bugs, Vine Whip's not effective. And your second best move is Tackle, not effective. If you look at our stats, HP is 80, Attack is 82, Defense is 83, Special is 100, and Speed is 80. So that means, I mean, there's not really a weak stat there, but Attack is not great. And when you're lower level as Bulbasaur, it's not great, it's even worse. So that's the problem with Venusaur, it's the in-between of those gyms. You don't have a lot to mitigate things. Like if you beat Misty, you can beat Misty pretty easy. Cool. Great. But as soon as you go south and you go towards like Sandy, the girl that has 3 Pidgeys, she's going to obliterate you. Because you got nothing that's going to knock her out. Tackle ain't going to do it unless you got Sleep Powder at that point. Nope, Sleep Powder is a little bit lower with this Pokemon, so it's level 41. You're not going to be able to do that. So what is your solution to beat her? Seed her maybe? I don't know. But she's going to obliterate you, and she's not even a main part of the game. She's just one trainer you have to face. She's going to obliterate you because you got nothing that's going to one-shot her Pidgeys. She's going to either Sand Attack you to oblivion, and then you're going to have so many... That's just one trainer I can think of. Now, once you get on the SS Sand, this Pokemon does unlock pretty well with Body Slam. So now it mitigates all those problems. But up until that point, Bulbasaur struggles, and he struggles pretty immensely. And like the other 3 starters, it takes him the longest to get his stab move. Squirtle gets Bubble at level 8. Charmander gets Ember at level 9. And Bulbasaur takes level 13 to get Vine Whip. So you gotta wait level 13 to go into Brock and have an absolute great move. You could probably beat him with Leech Seed, to be honest. But you still need to level up so you can take on, Route 3 and then Mount Moon and so on and so forth. And unlike Charmander and unlike Squirtle, there's not a lot of TMs you can get along the way. Squirtle can add Water Gun, can add Mega Punch. Charmander can add Mega Punch. Charmander can eventually get Seismic Toss, if you want to use that. Squirtle can use Bubble Beam when you beat Misty. This Pokemon does not have a lot of move progression like the other 2 starters, and it doesn't have the move progression like the number 1 Pokemon. So number 1, if you haven't figured it out already, is Victreebel. Victreebel is the only Grass-type Pokemon I've played through as has got this game beaten under an hour, and I could probably optimize and make it a little bit better. But fully evolved, this Pokemon has HP of 80, Attack of 105, Defense is 65, Special is 100, and Speed is 70. So the Speed is decent, Attack is decent, and Special is decent. Those are 3 main things you need to be pretty good in a single playthrough, and it synergizes so well with this Pokemon. Unlike Bulbasaur, and unlike Vileplume, we start off this game with a Stab, Vine Whip, and we start off with Growth, which will immediately boost our stats, and we also start off with Wrap. Now, Wrap to me, or we don't start off with Wrap, but we get Wrap like a couple levels in. Now, Wrap to me is an immediate upgrade, or is what unlocks this Pokemon. Wrap, the way Gen 1 is designed, if you Wrap your opponent, and while Wrap's continuing, cannot attack back. And if you outspeed, he'll never attack you, as long as you hit. It is an 85 base power move, but he has to hit you. Okay? And with this Pokemon as well, you get Poison Powder, Sleep Powder. Sleep Powder is the best one out of that. So Poison Powder maybe have a shelf life for like a couple minutes. You progress very well with Bellsprout. You get your next good move at Acid at level 24, I believe is what it is. Victreebel's things in a way. But I believe it's level 24 you get Acid. And Acid's great because now you have a super effective Stab Grass move, and you have a super effective Stab Poison move. And then you're able to progress and get Razor Leaf at one point. But once you evolve into Victreebel, you're immediately able to add Body Slam, a very effective physical attacking move. So now you have your 105 attack stat. The best stat you have is Validated. You have a very powerful move that you can use for the rest of the game. You can even get Hyper Beam if you want to go that route. I don't recommend it, but you can go Hyper Beam if you want to go that route and really utilize your physical attack stat. Oh, but wait, there's more. You also get access to Swords Dance, and you have a high physical attack, so it makes your physical attack even better, making Body Slam more powerful, and by proxy, your Special goes up as well. So Growth is not as useful to this Pokemon after like the first part of the game, because Swords Dance is so much better. Okay, when you tie in the Swords Dance with the attack and physical attack and even speed, like it's a no-brainer how effective this Pokemon is. And if you watch my playthrough, you can go back and watch it. The playthrough I had, I timed everything just perfectly, and the Elite Four was a breeze. Usually grass types have a problem with Agatha, but if you time it perfectly, you can use Mimic to mimic Dream Eater, and I use that on all 3 of the top 3 grass types. I did that strategy, so works very effective. And this is the most effective because it mitigates the problem early where you either don't have a grass move early and you got to grind to get one, or you have a grass move but you don't get another move for a long time. This one has wrap, which completely negates that disadvantage that it has. And yeah, you gotta stay as Bellsprout for a while. That's what I did. I stayed as Bellsprout so we can get Acid quicker, we can get Razor Leaf quicker. But once you do that and you're able to evolve, now you have, I think stat by stat, the strongest grass type in the game and the fastest grass type in the game for sure when it comes to playthroughs. So yeah, that's why Victreebel is my number 1. And based on what I played through, I could play through 100 more times with all the other Pokemon. I don't think anything's gonna come close to what happens with Venusaur. Now maybe in the future I'll play through with all the with Victreebel. Maybe in the future I'll play through as all the starters, or all the fully evolved grass type, at least the top, well, Vileplume, Victreebel, and Venusaur, and see if that still sticks. But I'm pretty confident it's going to stick. The way this Pokemon's designed, it's a no-brainer. Why it's number 1? It's between this one and number 2. It's a country mile. I played through with Bulbasaur. My first video on this channel was Bulbasaur. And what a lot of people don't know is I played through Bulbasaur like 3 or 4 times before I found a viable playthrough and posted it. Okay, I played through a lot because I kept coming up against issues in the Elite Four. And I played through about 6 months later, and I tried to get under an hour and a half, and it was really a struggle getting under an hour and a half. This Pokemon, when I played through as its base form, got under an hour and a half easily. And then now with the fully evolved version, it's a no-brainer. It's under an hour, and I've seen other playthroughs, like with Scott's Thoughts. He's played through just Victreebel and got done like 40 minutes. Probably one of the best non-Mewtwo Pokemon there is in Generation 1. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This is JD. This is JD's Nerdverse. This is my ranking of all the grass types in Generation 1. Like I said, I'll go through it one more time. Number 6. Number 6 is Exeggutor/Exeggutor. Number 5 is Tangela. Number 6 is Vileplume. Number 6, yeah. Number 4 is Vileplume. There we go. Number 3 is Parasect. Number 2 is Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur. And number 1 is Bellsprout, Weepinbell, and Victreebel. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This is JD. This has been JD's Nerdverse. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.